let that warm up a little bit. Letting that thing warm up a little bit. Back on the Model A here. The plan is to grab that disc brake rear end diff and kind of get it situated in here with suspension. That's my plan. So, yeah. Long story short, that's what we're doing. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to still do a little notch in here. I'm thinking I want to bring this up. If I get that to 2-inch, so 3/16, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it all sits, because I'm just going to throw 14s like I have all around on it, and then we'll kind of see how everything sits and stands, and if I'm happy with it, cool. But yeah, got to build a cross member in here. We're going to redo these links. I'm hoping I can repurpose those. I should be able to. I think I just have them boog welded up on top there. I don't think I have anything on the sides yet, so those should be fine to reuse. And then we get that spring perch in. It'd be pretty cool. Kind of get that section mocked up, and then we can kind of blow it apart. And that, well, once I do that and get the drive shaft in, then I can kind of blow this apart, get the chassis kind of cleaned and fully welded, because we'll have pretty much everything on it, well, other than the steering. But we're not going to like paint anything or whatnot. Well, the chassis might get painted, but the body, not so much. I think it's just going to be what it is. That may change. I don't know. We'll see. If it's going to get paint, it's not going to be anything crazy. It's going to be minimal effort with some color on it. But all right, first things first, we need to get a differential out of the back, and I think that Bobcat's probably warmed up enough that it can haul my butt around the yard here. Well, in the shop, kind of have it mocked up here. Not really, but you can see how much wider this diff is than a two-wheel drive S10. We are exactly like, I think those are 2-inch spacers, so we're 4 inches wider. So cool. I do not know if my little 14-inch wheels will bolt onto there and not hit the caliper. But for now, we can take them off. I'm not too worried if that's a problem. But we got to cut all this bracketry off because it had like leaf sprung. We don't need any of that. We're getting rid of that. I'm going to take the sway bar off. I don't think it's going to work in my application. I don't have the room for it. And it's got a goofy, there's some goofiness to it. Like, I think because it was on a lifted truck, it's kind of sat up pretty high and not going to work for me here. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. I just don't know what its original, in its original form, where it hung out. Whether it was behind it or what the deal was, I don't know. Anyways, cool. We're gonna torch this off, clean this up, get it ready. I didn't get any steel, but I'm thinking, because it's just such a weird setup I have, I might make the whole bracket. We'll do it out of some quarter. The chassis is made with quarter. I think I'll do something, I'm not sure. I'm gonna cut like a plate top and bottom. We'll give it a backing, and I don't know, we'll see what happens. I'll probably box the inside of it, but I'm totally just playing with making something custom to go into here. I don't want it to interfere with the drive angles and stuff like that, so yeah. I'm overthinking a little bit here, so I'm gonna simplify, and we're just gonna get the diff sitting and hanging in there, and then we'll figure things out from there. All right, that's there. Yes, let's just do that. Then we'll make up the cross member after, and then we'll make the links. It's pretty much the simplest way to tackle this. All right, I got the diff in, or sitting there. It's hanging, it's square, it's, I don't know, plumb, I don't know how you want to put it, but we're good that way. We are about 2.5 degrees off, which it's good enough for that. I decided to make a much simpler cross member, so I'm doing this. I'm gonna add some gussets into this yet. I'll probably just do it from the backside because I just want to be able to do the transmission. I'll have to make note when I do the tunnel just to give myself a little room that when I undo this, when I take that cross member out, I need to be able to pull this back enough and get over this cross member. So mind you, if the shifter's up here, that should be enough room to kind of, you know, take your drive shaft off, pull this tranny back enough that it can pop out of the front and then you can take it out. I'd say, you know, shouldn't be a problem, but when I had my 37, I don't know how many runs I did in before I burnt up the clutch in that thing once. And I had to pull the tranny out of it. So anyways, we got this going. I want to take these apart. I do have some 1.5 by 1.5 that I used on Trevor's car, so I still have half a length there. I'd like to just make the bars a little smaller than they are instead of these big heavy 2x2s. This one here is a chunk of, I think it's like 1/4 inch is what I got in there. The bars I'll probably make just from 3/16, but if I go with the 1.5, then it's 1/4 inch. So, yeah, kind of beefy. I'm gonna probably set these up just so I can get a little more, how do you put it? I'll probably set them just to, my tabs are gonna be kind of under, but I'm not gonna put them right dead to the center. I wanna be able to get a nut and stuff on it. So I'm gonna kind of go something like that, I'm thinking, which is, and then my drive shaft, because you never have your drive shaft in like that. So this should be plenty going to the back, even though it's going to be a little mini drive shaft here, but we'll get those all sorted out, so that'll work fine. Probably start, once I get the link bars done, I'll probably make that thing really quick. All right, so game plan. Now I gotta cut some brackets. I gotta cut these off. I found part numbers on it, or I thought that was a part number, 3021B, but not so much. I know they're control arm bushings, I just don't really know from what. I should just pop one out and see, because I need a similar set for my coupe, because I did the same idea with a trailing arm thing for that thing with bags, but yeah, they're kind of melted out of that one, so I gotta find out what those are so I can get a bunch. Well, I seem to mix up my numbers a lot of times. So, this was my bracket. I don't know why, it was looking right. I may have put in a few numbers in a little backwards there, because that one got a little off on the axle size. I seen that, I stopped it, I quickly redrew it the right way, and this is what we got. So, it may look excessive, but kind of is, but it'll be fine. Yeah, there's kind of an excessive kick going down, but we went 5 inches from the bottom to the tube, or to the bottom of the tube, and then I mounted these lower. Just, I don't know where my travel, everything's gonna go, and well, I guess I didn't need to go that low, but yeah, it'll be fine. I'm not too worried. At least it'll have a nice parallel look to everything. So we ran up top, made this mount. This I still want to do some bracing into there. Maybe I'll repurpose some of that bad boy into there. Anyways, yeah, this is all done. You can see this is a little goofy. It was confusing me, but then I remembered I actually did mount the motor a little bit over just because of the way the stick was and stuff to give me a little more room on the driver's side. So it is like 3/4 of an inch or so over a little bit. 1/2 inch, 3/4, I don't remember what I did, but I gave myself a little bit more room. So we got this, everything's all tacked. You can kind of see this should all work just fine, kind of like a C10 truck. I did kind of want to put them in a little tighter, but this will be way better than the system I had before. So the only thing to do now, this is sitting here. I have to pull out my blocks. We're going to want to just support the chassis. I want to bust these mounts off because the diff, well, I won't do it quite just yet. I might have to, depends how this goes. I got to clean some more stiff because we got to clean these up, get this mounted. Oh, right, I want to move some of this. I don't like how this spring thing's going on. We're going to bust a bunch of stuff in here yet. I want to move this tube up so it's in the middle of this plate. We're going to cut a thicker, bigger plate, but that'll sit here. And I want to see how, we'll put it in the car or put the body back on. We'll see how everything goes once I get that figured out. The goal is, I'm just hoping I like the ride height and stuff. If it's not good, the benefit with this setup is if it's, I like to build it, if it's too low, you can always raise it. If you build stuff too low, it's usually, or sorry, like, how do I want to put that? Most of the time, if you make your stuff too low, it's hard to raise. In the case of this, with a parallel spring and stuff, it's actually very easy because I'll put my spring in there, that'll get mounted. I don't like it, I'll just put a block in here and we can get another inch or 2 inch, whatever. We just basically shim the spring down. It's kind of that simple. If you're talking about putting a clip on a truck or a car or something and you mount that too low, that's really hard to raise. It's easier to lower something than it is to raise it. If you put a clip on and it's wrong, you can usually get drop spindles, you can usually get drop coils, like you can usually drop 4 to 6 inches just in stuff like that. Whereas if you make it like a ground scraper, man, I don't know how you start trying to change coils, trying to do whatever, you struggle. This setup should be pretty straightforward. Won't figure out how to do the shocks. I don't think we'll get into boxing, doing anything. My goal is going to be just to get this spring into here and just get it sitting on wheels in a roller again. Would be pretty much my ideal I win motion. I'm feeling like I got a lot more done than I did the last round. So anyways, it's not too late. I think I'll continue. I'm going to try to get that. I'll get like the spring mounted and then I'll move the perch after because it's kind of where it's just got to go. So that doesn't really change. So if I can at least get the spring sitting on the car the way it's supposed to be, then tomorrow I'll come in and I'll move that cross member where it's got to go. And then, yeah, slam some wheels on it and throw the body maybe back on. Be pretty awesome. last night everything worked out really good. I got everything going. A little mixed whether I'm gonna change the angle on the bars. I mean, overall they work really well. They're there. The plan is to close the back up, probably the back and the front, box them up. So I want to make a filler plate, and the way I rounded these off, I kind of want everything just to follow and flow nice like that. Up here we got lots of cleanup and welding to do, but that part is good. The spring went in. It's good. I had to lift it and had to sort of recenter it because the spring, I don't know, there was just weird stuff happening. So anyways, we got everything jiggered back into place here. The other thing I want to do now is just get this thing sitting in the middle like it's supposed to. I'm not sure the process or why I did that. Maybe I had to do with the back of the car. I don't know. Well, I don't know. I'd have to brace that up like crazy. I think what I want to do is... Do I need to? I don't know. I'm kind of mixed now. I could just drill straight into the... through the tube. Nah, we'll stick with my original plan here. So the plan is I'm going to trim this out. I want to move this beam just so it's over. We'll drill a hole right in the center. That way this spring can like align properly. Actually, I'm probably going to cut a thicker plate for this so I can sandwich it properly, get a bolt through them. Yeah, that's going to be the plan here. So basically I want to move this cross member over, get that centered. I can leave this hanging off because we'll kind of build some kind of a body mount to that, because the back of the car doesn't have a lot of anything. I just had some sheet metal there originally, just kind of tacked just to hold stuff, because we don't have the means of like I'll have to build something to reconnect the back of the car to the front of the car. But yeah, first things first, let's just get this sorted out, and then, well, eventually we're gonna have just a lot of welding to do, but everything's like tacked, or aggressively tacked I should say. So let's get that cross member in the right place there, and well, I think we'll have done good for this round. All right, folks, we are back to roller material. Look at that. So we got our spring. I went beyond tacking. I've actually semi-burned that in. That spring perch is burnt in. But we are rolling on disc brakes all around now. Check it out. Disc in the front, disc in the back. So I don't know how that's going to affect what I'm doing for brakes, but not too shabby. So, in case you're not familiar, this is so similar to the way the stock Model A stuff is, just with a single spring. I guess if you really want to say it, Corvette does that, but this, well, they got a mono spring or a fiberglass spring, but anyways, we're kind of shooting for this route. This is going to act as my suspension and my panhard. So that's why there's no panhard bar, we're just doing the two-link. I'm going to have to figure out shocks. It's not a lot of travel, I do want to fix that yet. I basically want to get another inch. I'm going to just notch out into that section to get me another inch before we box that whole thing in. Pretty close. I want to figure out my shocks for up here. And well, I'm going to have to figure some stuff out with the body, but for now, if I can get, next round, if I can get my shocks on there, we're going to have to make some tabs. These spring perches, I think at one time I used to have you'd have two halves of it and then you'd weld it. It would stop anything from trying to clock, even if your welds are on there. I guess maybe they would twist. I don't know. I don't know the whole reasoning for it, but I do know by default these would have had an outside clasp that would have went around and then you would have welded it and it would have had like a ring. My take, I don't know if I so much need on the back here. I mean, that is a lot of meat. Even this, it's a lot of meat once it's welded. I think something would bend before that would like twist on the axle, but I'm not sure. See what we do. We might come up with some rings and do everything just because. Like I said, again, I do want to box these in, so these plates will kind of get finished, and then the front or the back will have a nicer, maybe I'll incorporate shocks back there. I don't know yet. Like there's room that I could do the shock mounts from here up. Might be one way is to clean that up. I was going to round it out, but if I have a short enough shock, I might be able to just attach that somewhere. And then I got to order some emergency brakes. Got to figure, well, I'll get those just kind of run. Those will be pretty easy because we can kind of come off, tie into our bar, and then we'll be pretty close to a tug handle or something inside the car here yet. I dig it. I think these are actually going to be my permanent headers because I'm pretty sure I ordered some and I think they came in for Esther's car. So we got a few parts for that one. I don't know if I have enough to finish it yet, but yeah. If I don't work on that, I'll be working on this. I think by now we're probably on the road. So if you haven't checked out our second channel, we're probably going to have some videos of our road trip going to Viva on there. So anyways, I think we did good. The thing's a roller again. I'm pretty happy about that. But I think that is where we're going to leave this one. I think next round when we work on this, if we're working on it next, I don't know. I'd like to get the shocks on the back and probably get the body back on, figure out the few back body mounts that I have to do. And then I guess, other than the front shocks and the steering, we can't really strip this chassis down yet. I want to get the steering in there, semi-figured out. So we'll be a ways off from tearing this thing completely down and doing a full weld, but I'd like to get the rear shocks on, maybe get that mild step that I'm thinking that I want to do in. It's not terrible, but it's like 3.5 inches. I'd like to get at least 4 to 5 in the back. So I kind of provisioned 5 till my arms would hit the floor. This thing, as it goes up, it should stay pretty parallel, but it might go, because of the 2-link, it might come up a little bit, but the arms are pretty long, so I'm hoping it stays, if I was to bottom this out, it would only come maybe an inch forward. And I don't know. I hope not. I don't even know if I need all of that. I mean, when I bounce on it, there's no weight on it, so that's a whole different story. But it does, yeah, we'll give it another one, and then worst case, we'll put some bump stops in it. If I have a nice flat surface, I can put a little stop in there and it would be pretty cherry. All right. Anyways, as always, folks, I want to thank you all for watching, and we will catch you on the next one, where I'm not sure what we're doing yet.
Could be on that, or we could be trying to finish up Esther's Buick. Or maybe we finished Esther's Buick by now. I don't know. Well, clearly I haven't finished it because I'm still staring at it. But anyways, later, folks.